Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and in light of everything that's going on in Las Vegas, Nevada, I wanted to show you guys this latest report because there are so many questions going unanswered and the media isn't giving us answer to those. Neither is the police or anyone that's investigating what is going on. But quite frankly, it smells of a patsy, like a false flag type of scenario. Now, the event happened, people were injured, people were hurt, people died, and it's sad and it's heartbreaking. But at the same aspect, I smell and it reeks that he was some kind of plant used by some sort of higher power or the higher ups in order to accomplish an agenda. What is that agenda? Well, disarmament of the people. And that's what I think it boils down to. But check out this report because this is very, very important from zerohedge.com. And it is titled 16 Unanswered Questions About the Las Vegas Shooting That the Mainstream Media Will Not Talk About. That's what ticks me off. If the journalists today in the mainstream media were worth a freaking lick, then they would have answers to these questions. But there are 16. That is why I'm left with the feeling that he's a patsy, that he was put there. And obviously he had some kind of motive also. I know that there's talk of him being linked with ISIS. I know ISIS has taken responsibility, these kinds of things. But and there was even Antifa stuff surrounded by this guy. So there's so many things that they're leaving out. And why are they leaving it out? Well, they don't want their side to look bad in addition to that. But what are those 16 unanswered questions? Well, I'm going to kind of reference the report here on my phone. But first of all, the photos of Stephen Paddock's, he's the shooter, hotel room have been leaked. And one of those showed a suicide note, but no one's read it. No one's had any answers to it. Number two, were there additional shooters? We know that taxi driver captured footage of an automatic weapon being shot from a lower floor. Some people speculate maybe that's a strobe light or whatever, but there's definitely questions rising of, is there more than one shooter? And that's a good question that should be addressed. Third, why are law enforcement authorities discussing another suspect on the fourth floor? Why are they even talking about it? And why isn't the mainstream media? Well, they're liars. Number four, as John Rappaport has pointed out, it would have been impossible, this is a huge point, for Stephen Paddock to kill and wound 573 people in less than 5 minutes. If he is a lone wolf, like they're attempting to claim, how is it that you can wound and kill so many people? You can't. It's impossible for one man to do that. So why doesn't the law enforcement acknowledge that fact? Number five, how did Paddock, good question, get 42 guns and several rounds of ammo into his hotel room without anyone noticing? Now, the hotel he was at, there's also, conspiracies and ties and claims that the leader of the hotel, and I'm blanking on his name now, but the hotel that Stephen Paddock went in, the owner of the hotel has ties to leftist groups and has pushed leftist radical rhetoric with his employees. So something to think about. And considering he was a platinum gold member, he was a pretty high up member, according to the hotel, that he may have even likely had conversations with the CEO of the hotel. So something else to think about in that aspect. Number six, how did someone with no military background, and that wasn't a gun guy after all, according to his people that knew him, operate such advanced weapons? Good question. Because what we are being told by the mainstream media just doesn't make sense. I mean, that's a good point. Good point. A non-gun guy know how to operate all this stuff and have so many guns, and let alone get into the room with that many guns. Number seven, why was a woman telling people in a crowd that they were all going to die 45 minutes before the attack? Number eight, why did it take law enforcement 72 minutes to get to the hotel room of Stephen Paddock? Number 9, why did Paddock wire $100 grand to the Philippines? Good question. Number 10, why was Paddock's girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, in the Philippines when the attack took place? 11, was Paddock on antidepressants? 12, why was ISIS so eager to take responsibility for this attack, and why was the FBI so fast and quick to dismiss that connection? Look, ISIS isn't one to just sit there and take responsibility for everything under the sun, yet they're taking responsibility for this And within, a lickety split, if you will, the FBI, it doesn't have anything to do with ISIS. We'll prove it. That's what I want to know. Prove it, but no proof is given. Number 14, 13. Apparently, Paddock had earned millions of dollars through real estate deals. If he's so wealthy, why would he all of a sudden snap? Number 14, why did he move so frequently? It's being reported that he had 27 different residents in his adult life. Why did he move so much? 15, why were nearly all the exits of the concert venue completely blocked? 16, and this is the final one, why was a country music festival chosen as the target? Was the goal to kill Trump supporters and as many conservatives as possible? And is there any evidence that he was connected to Antifa? Good question. Look, we know the target at a country music festival, you're going to get more white folk, you're going to get more conservative, more Christian type of people at an event like that. Was the target specifically for people who supported Trump? Well, these are all questions that are continually going unanswered, and it seems that there are far more questions than the answers that the mainstream media is not giving us. Now, I don't take credit for this. This was on Zero Hedge, and I believe it was also on Michael Snyder's The Economic Collapse blog as well. But these are questions that have been on my mind, on everybody's mind, and it's a huge list, which leads many to the conclusion that there's more than this, more to this story than what meets the eye. And I have to agree 100%. They are not giving us all the details. Could be a patsy, could be some sort of, lots of things going on. But the event is real. It did take place. It did happen. It's disturbing. And all in one. And another question that I think needs to be asked, how did they rule suicide so fast? Because he was shot, anybody could have done that. You could plant a gun on someone and shoot him, but yet they quickly ruled it as a suicide. Interesting point to add. Maybe that's number 17. Anyhow, I'd love to get your comments, your concerns, and your thoughts on all of this. And please don't forget to check out my partner at TradeGeniusAcademy.com. He's got 50% off right now using the code HAVEN on his school. He teaches you how to work with Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, working the stock market, all these kinds of things will be taught in that. And it's a great way to make money when the economy goes south, and even now with the economy. But TradeGeniusAcademy.com, there is a link below. And also he gives you, for my viewers that use the code HAVEN, you get an extra year in the stock rooms or the trade room as well in addition to that. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it far and wide. Well, I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.